Hi guys! It's Liliana the Magnificent and welcome back to my main city, Dukes of Honey. In this video, I am going to cover all of the features within a guild, how to manipulate them, and what they mean. So let's jump right in. First off, if you're on PC, you're going to visit this global tab, and then within it, you're going to see this shield, and it's your guild button. Now on mobile, the same blue guild button is in a little pop-out menu on the bottom right-hand corner. It's the fourth tab over. So if we press it, I will automatically say that on PC, there are more features that you can kind of cover and look at and just a little bit more information than on mobile. So if you're looking to maybe create a guild or look at more of the features, I would highly suggest that you pop onto a PC to do this. So on your mobile, there are only three tabs. You're going to see the profile tab, you're going to see your level tab, and you're going to see the treasury tab. The information that is in regards to administration is actually up in this little hamburger button on mobile. So you're not going to see that tab, but you will see it if you press the little hamburger button there. Now, this member tab on mobile is actually featured right here within your member list. So you can press on the different people and manipulate all the information that I'm going to show here right in this general area. Okay, so let's jump in a little bit more. First off, there is, your guild kind of crest, and you can change that when you press on it. This is where you can also change the name of your guild, and you can sort through all the different crests. You can pick what you want, etc., and you press save. Next, there is the guild description. I highly suggest that you put something here versus just like customize your guild description here. Don't leave that. And I mean, unless you really don't want people to join your guild. But really, the guild description is where you grab players' attention. You're going to want to maybe introduce what the guild is, kind of share a little bit about the atmosphere, its focus, what you guys are really into, etc. I would also highly suggest that you have a contact person within your guild description. Sometimes players like to contact players to be able to find out more about the guild, ask questions, etc. This also comes into play if you have your guild set on apply only or on invite only. So I'll kind of share a little bit more about that later. I also like to, at least for my guild, put the guild expectations / minimum requirements right here so that anybody incoming knows automatically what I expect of them and it's not anything wishy-washy. Some other guilds do not put this information there. They like that to just be an in-guild thing, so that's why having that contact person is really important. Um, I also really like to have the benefits of the guild. So, what are players going to get out of it when they come and join you? So, that's just something that you want to have within the guild description. You really have your own kind of tailoring to it. You can make it as detailed or as vague as you want. So, make it your own, make it match your guild and the atmosphere that it has. Next, you're going to see the guild battleground information. You're going to see what league they're in and also their league points. This will tell you how active the guild is within GBG. And then below that, you're going to see the Guild Expedition Championship. So you'll see how many times they've come in first, how many times they've come in second, and then how many times they've come in third. It does not show you all of the times if they don't come in first, second, or third. Below that, you're also going to see the ranking of the guild within the global ranking standings. Lastly, if you are already within a guild, if you press this little message, it'll just bring up the guild's message center tab within your little message center. Now, if you're not in the guild, it'll say here apply or auto join. If it is a closed guild where you actually have to have an invite to it, then nothing will appear there. So that's just something I wanted to share there. Now, if you are not in the guild, this is something that you will just generally see looking at the member list. You might notice somebody with a little badge. That means that they are a leader. And if you scroll down and you see somebody with a crown, that means that they are the founder of the guild. Any other member or role rights are not given any symbols here. You're just going to see those two if you are just kind of meandering about. So now let's jump in a little bit further. So this member tab information that I'm going to share, some of it actually applies to this general area, like I said, on mobile. So let's pop over here. And of course, FoE helper is going to pop up one more time and be sassy. So we will wait for it before we jump in. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to be able to do is you can edit all of the different members' titles. So in our guild, every single GBG season, I set a new song and everybody gets a lyric. Also, my different leaders and also those that are involved within GVG or GBG also have a fun little title. So you can kind of see who the different people are that are involved in the different areas. Like I am headmaster. But in general, other guilds kind of have their own flavor for this. Some will do kind of quirky little fun titles for people. Some will use emojis, and the emojis correlate with like the certain great buildings that people have. Others might just simply say, you know, GVG contact or GBG contact or leader or like lieutenant or things like that. So it's really the flavor of the guild, how you want to handle this guild description. You can also absolutely have nothing. That's okay too. Now, something that I really like that is on PC and not on mobile are these next three little columns. So I can view everybody's points and their point standings right here in one place, which is really nice. Otherwise, you can find that information if you go to the guild list where you can see everybody, then you can see all of the points. However, what I really like is it also shows all of the different and numbers of battles that players have won. So you can really kind of start to see who are your highest battling players within your guild, which I think is really neat. Um, this next area I think is exceptionally crucial if you're looking for an active guild as a founder or a leader and seeing who's active. So this activity column has three different colors within it. First, if you see a blue circle, it means that this person was last active within 2 days. And then if we scroll down, I know I have one who's a pea green or yellow. This person was last active more than 2 days ago, but less than 8 days ago. Now, I don't have anybody who is red in my guild, but if I did, it would mean that that person has not been logging into the game. They haven't collected, they haven't done anything in the game in over 8 days. So this is really important if you're looking on how to see who's active and who you need to kick out of your guild if you really do want to keep people active. So if you have a lot of red dots, reach out to those players, give them maybe a couple days to respond back to you, and then oust them if you don't want to have inactive players. Okay. Next, you will see here that you can dismiss players. That would be kicking or removing them in any way, shape, or form. And now I'm also going to spend a little bit of time within these rights. I think this is really important information to share about. So the first are founders. Founders have total control over the guild. Founders can change the name, they can change the crest, they can essentially kick any player, they can change threads within the guild tab, etc. They can also grant different players rights. So, one other thing that a founder can do, they can also dissolve a guild. That means they can make it disappear. So this is where things start to get kind of important here. Next are leaders. Leaders can change the guild description and they can flag and administer the guild category in the message center. They also have all of these following rights that are below it. They do not have founder rights though. So leaders cannot dissolve guilds. They also cannot give anybody a founder right. Leaders can also not um, create other leaders, if that makes sense. So they can give people rights with as like a moderator or an inviter or things like that, but they cannot give other leaders rights. Only a founder can make more leaders. So that's where that kind of like tiering comes into play. Now, this is also really important, and I really want to caution you if you are looking into seeing who needs to be founders and things. You really want to make sure that who you bring on as founders, you fully trust. I've actually heard of this, I think, 2 times already within the past couple months. I've also heard horror stories of the past of other guilds that have maybe merged with others or things like that, or brought somebody in, thought they trusted that person, gave them founder rights. And once you have a founder that matches another founder, that founder can actually take away the other founder's rights and then claim the guild as their own. So you have to be really cautious about who is founders, because only founders can make other founders. They can also delete other founders. So I've heard of some coups happening and some overthrows where somebody was given founder rights, they controlled and they took over the guild and they ousted the other founders. So that's where, if you are looking to kind of control your guild, you really want to think about who gets founder versus a leader. So be mindful with that, you guys. Okay. Next are moderators. Moderators can administer the guild category within the message center. So essentially, they can change thread titles, they can delete threads, they can add threads, etc. And like I said, leaders also have this ability, so do founders. Next are inviters. Inviters can invite new members, and they can also accept or deny applications. So you really want to be careful with this as well. Normally in my guild, I only allow leaders or founders to have this right, because really I like to be the kind of door to my guild. I personally like to just have people message me to find out who they are, if they're good, if they could meet the minimum requirements, etc. So if you give a bunch of people inviter rights, suddenly you might have a whole bunch of people joining your guild that you don't know who they are. So, and if you're really kind of picky on making sure they're in the right era, what kind of buildings they have, etc., you just want to be mindful about who you're giving an inviter right to. Often I don't really give out moderator or inviter rights. I just use my leaders to kind of control those areas. Now, where I do give more single rights out to are in these two categories. So, trusted members can do certain GVG, or that's guild versus guild, actions, like placing a siege army or granting freedom or replacing armies. So this trusted rights area specifically has to do with GVG, which is on PC only. So if you have players that want to get involved with GVG, you want to be able to give them this right so that they can set sieges, so that they can um, grant freedom to different sectors. Everybody is only granted 4 times that they can grant freedom. So you want to have those extra people in. They can also replace those armies. So it's really helpful. However, you also need to be mindful too, if they do have that role, you want to make sure that you're talking as a guild about what you're doing and the strategy, because you don't want somebody who gets this right and then suddenly is like dropping a whole bunch of sectors or taking a whole bunch of sectors. You really want to trust trusted member who you're giving this right to do so on a GVG map. Okay, and this last one is a little flag. This is a battleground officer. They have the right to build and destroy province buildings, as well as to mark and unmark provinces within guild battlegrounds. So this specifically has to do with this lovely guild battlegrounds area. And if you have players that are just GBG officers, then you want to make sure that they have this flag. Once again, only leaders can give these people and below, and founders can give these and roles. Other other people that do have a trusted member cannot make other trusted members. Same as GBG officers, they can't give those rights to others. So just be mindful of that as you are looking into the different rights and roles for all of your different players. Okay. Next This is your level information. This also matches on mobile. So there's 5 different kind of categories that you can look at. First is the prestige bonus. It adds a certain number to the guild's daily prestige ranking. And now I should mention all of these change as you level as well. Next is the support pool bonus. This specifically is related to guild versus guild provinces, and it boosts your military and the armies that your guild places that are calculated next to your headquarters. So just be mindful of that. Really, this doesn't do anything with guild battlegrounds. It's just guild versus guild. Next is recruitment boost. I really like this. This reduces the time needed to recruit and heal units. So as your guild levels up, this recruitment boost also increases. So it just shortens the time, and that's really nice for getting armies quicker. With like your Traz is affected by that, along with any military building within your city. But really, the Traz is key. Your Alcatraz that lowers it as well, so you can collect it more often than 24 hours. So that's really helpful. Next is also a research boost, aka you get forge points from your town hall, and like our guild gets 9 forge points, and I think that just actually changed. So I believe so, actually, recently. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining it. But we get 9 forge points from our town hall. And lastly, there's also reduces the coin and supply cost of any buildings that you might build within your city. So it just makes it cheaper to put new things from within your building tab within your city. Also, there is the current level information, so you can see this is the gain power by controlling sectors of provinces on the guild continent map. Not only can you get crowns or guild power that way, you can also get more power from GBG and GE, but those are one-time onlys whenever you win at the end of each of those seasons. But those crowns are impacted here as well. So just be mindful of that. I actually do have a video that goes all into guild ranking, and I can link that up here for you guys if you want to know more about what actually goes into play here. And then it also shows you at your next level what the different things will change. So these are the 3 that will change. All the rest will remain the same. And you can also see that there's a cap at 100. So once you get to 100, the guild is done leveling so far anyway, unless they ever make a change to that. Next is the Treasury. You can see within your Treasury that people can donate medals. Medals are actually not created by any buildings within your city as a guild or like guild buildings. People actually have to donate medals to the Treasury. So just be mindful of that. Also be mindful that Bronze Age is there, that does not get calculated into the guild treasury whatsoever. It starts in Iron Age and then goes up from there. Be also mindful that the members of your guild, so like obviously if you have players in Sav, then it will require Sav goods to aka build treasury or build sieges or build buildings on provinces within guild battlegrounds. So be mindful that the people that are within your guild and what eras they are in are associated with what is what you build within guild battlegrounds map. Now, also be mindful within Guild Expedition based upon the players within the different eras within your guild. In order to unlock the different, like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, it is going to require treasury goods to do so, and it pairs with who is in your guild. So, let's pretend if we go up here to our Sav, let's pretend we have a whole bunch of players here and we have no players in Sav. If that were the case, then Guild Expedition, there would be quite a bit that it would ask for to unlock the different levels from Sav. However, even though I have no people within this era, it will require a small portion to still unlock. So now let's say you didn't have anybody in either of these two eras, but you did have everybody here. This era would still ask you to unlock guild expedition levels with a certain amount. However, this era would be nothing. So it kind of tiers as it goes for guild expedition. Now this is different than guild battlegrounds. If you don't have players within these ages on guild battlegrounds, then simply there is just no cost to build any of the certain buildings there. So that's really helpful. Now, I also will say with this guild treasury, um, something that is specific to PC only, if you visit this little hamburger tab, you can see guild contributions. This is a really fantastic tab. Like I said, this is not available on mobile, only on PC. And let's see if it will calculate. Come on, little guy. There we go. So here on PC, there are pages and pages and pages and pages, but you can see who is contributing to the guild and how much they are contributing. You can also see who is taking from the guild and the cost of that. So like, let's see, oh my gosh, we've got a ways to go and I can't just press a button. I wanted you guys to be able to see like when something is used from the guild treasury, then it'll pop up here with a little negative symbol. But this is really helpful for like GVG or guild battleground when, aha, here we go. Perfect. So it specifically tells you in guild battlegrounds that a building was placed, and you can see who did it and also how much it took from the treasury to do so. And there's also that timestamp. Now this also goes for GVG. So if somebody places a siege or unlocks another slot to put in another army, you can actually see who's doing that within this log here. So especially if there's like an error or something happened, you can go back and you can see what happened. But that's really nice, and this is not available on mobile. So I highly suggest that you can like watch and tailor things there. I love that button. Now, guild conversation is just another button that takes you to the message center. Okay, here's our last area for the administration. There are 3 different options for how people can join, and I love it. How shall players join? I love how proper that is. So, via application would mean that a player, when they are back on this profile tab, and I kind of mentioned that little tab at the bottom that said message, it would say apply. So if there's a guild that you would like to join, you can press apply, and then when that person does, it'll pop up right here that that player has applied to your guild. And then essentially you can either accept as a guild leader, you can accept them here, or you can deny them here if they apply to the guild. Obviously, we have no pending applications because we are not a via apply guild. A via invite only guild means that no players can actually apply to my guild. If they specifically want to join, they have to send me a private message, which means then I have a conversation with them and I find out, their background. I find out if they can meet minimum requirements, and it just allows me as a founder to be more involved with these players that are coming into our guild family. And this is really important for me because I'm very relationship and connection built within my guild, and I like to know, a little bit about the people coming in. So once they have that conversation with me, then I can type their name down here in this invite player, and then I press an invite, and then it goes right here. So you can see that I have one player that is currently invited to the guild, and then they can come and they can accept that invitation and they can join. So that now this is also an option too, even if you were to select via application or via auto join. It's just that these features kind of go null and void when you are an invite only guild. However, as a founder, and if you have apply or auto join, you can still send out invites to your guild. So just be mindful there. Now, auto join, I have a love-hate relationship with auto join. So auto join, if you're on your profile tab, that button will just say automatically, it just says join. So if that were the case, anybody could be rolling into your guild at any time. They can also leave your guild at any time. So this auto join is really, you have really, as a founder and a leader, you have no control over who's coming in your guild, who can view then your guild treasury, view all of your members. They also have access to your members, so they can age your members, they can snipe your members. This auto join, there's also something called guild hopping that is associated with it. So there are some benefits to guild hopping if you're a new player. Like I said, you can join all of these guilds with no kind of stipulations. You can aid everybody, so you can get a whole bunch of BPs when you're starting out for the buildings that you need. And then you can look for snipes, and you can snipe all those buildings, because ultimately the only buildings that you can access are if somebody is your friend, they're in your guild, or they're in your hood. So if they're able to just auto join, then they can cause a little bit of damage. So just kind of be mindful about those options. Now, I think some players view auto join as, well, if you want to build your guild up, well, we want everybody to be coming in. That's not necessarily the case, because then if we look at that member information, you can see who is active and who's not. And if somebody is joining your guild to just sit there and be inactive, well, you don't want them to be there if you actually want your guild to be active. So that's why that apply and invite only allows that tailoring to happen. Now, if you do want your guild to just be a sitter guild where people can just at least, come and hang out and have really low requirements and have no expectations and things, then yeah, auto join is fantastic. So really tailor it to your needs and what you want your personality of the guild to be. Then there's also that scary button down there that is only available to founders, and that would be dissolving the guild and making everybody homeless in a really fast hurry, and that would just be awful and sad. So, either way, you guys, I hope this video was helpful. I hope that you learned a lot from it, and just kind of gleaned some information about all of the different features. So, if you like this video, give it a like. You can always subscribe to my channel, and if you press the little bell next to the subscribe button, you will be notified whenever I put out new videos. You guys are utterly fantastic, and I hope that you're doing really well. See you all soon. Bye!